Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of HolsingersFlyShop.com. This time I'm bringing you a fly that's a pretty cool fly. It's a Rich Ferreira fly. If you know Rich, you might have heard him on our podcast once. And he shared this book with he shared this pattern with George Daniels for his book, his newest book. And it's a really cool looking pattern. I love the looks of it, and I thought that this would be a good one to share with you. It's a just by looking at it, you know it's going to catch fish. It's called the open wound. Okay, Rich ties it in his book. He ties it in black with black dubbing and the red dubbing mixed. I'm going to tie it in something a little different. I'm going to tie it with a watery olive, and I'm also going to show you some other pictures of ones that I tied. This is one, like I said, you look at a fly sometimes and you just know it will catch fish. This is one of those. And I've been filling my box up with them and filling it up in multiple colors. I tied one in wine. I'll show you a picture of that here. Been tying a lot of those. And also another one of my popular flies that I really like to use in muddy water is my black and blue. And it's very similar to the black and blue, so I've been tying it like that too, with some purple and black dubbing instead of red and black. So just mixing things around, having some fun with it. That's what fly tying is all about, having fun and catching fish. So if you're having fun, you're going to catch fish because you're going to have fun doing it and you're going to try harder. So have fun with your fly tying, change colors, experiment, and don't get stuck on this is the pattern, this is what it called for, this is what I have to use. I don't use the dubbing that he uses in his pattern, but I'll catch just as many fish on it, even if no matter which dubbing I had, the one I used or the one he used. It doesn't matter. The fish can't tell the difference between the dubbing. So, sit back. Here's a picture of the fly and how I tie it. Okay, here you can see in the vices the original pattern from Rich. This is Rich Ferreira's open wound fly. And open wound because it has that red spot there and looks like it's injured or something. I'm going to show you, like I said, I'm going to tie this in different colors. Here's one of them that I tied, not one I'm going to tie in a video, but as soon as I tied it, I thought, well, we got to screw around with it a little bit. And here's an olive I tied, used in a little bit of chartreuse wire and a chartreuse bead, and that thing looks really fishy. So like I said, mess around with the pattern. Mess around with your colors, change the color of the thread, change the color of the dubbing, whatever you need to do, whatever makes you happy. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit and tie a pattern similar to one of Kevin Compton's patterns, the pocket picker, and I'm going to use the colors that he used on that, which is watery olive. And you can see the bead here. For purpose of the video, I'm using a size 14, one of the Holsinger's Fly Shop Jig Hooks. And for a bead, I'm going to use like a 2.8, 3.3, whatever size you like here. This one is a 2.8. I usually like to oversize my beads a little bit, but this one is a 2.8. Now the next thing we're going to put on is the tail, and you can use Coq de Leon, or if you have some tailing fibers, whatever you like to use for tailing fibers, put on here now. And we're going to put a tail on here. Coq de Leon is pretty much the best tailing fiber you can get. I usually tie with medium Pardo because it really fits the bill for just about anything. Just for something flashy, I'm using a little bit of chartreuse, and this is actually off a feather, not a Coq de Leon that I had laying around. So use what you have fun. So now, next thing I'm going to do is put some small black ultra wire, and you can use small or extra small. If you're tying smaller, like an 18, and then I would go with an extra small, or even a 16. I would try to get the extra small if you have it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this on here, back at the back, and I'm going to wrap it forward, and I'm going to cover up my wraps and smooth this out all in one shot. I want to keep it thin here. Okay, you can see there, you can see my wire coming through just a little bit, so I'm going to go back over it one more time just to try to hide that wire just a little bit. But what I don't want to do is build up too much body. So I got a nice smooth body there. We're just going to wrap this up. We're going to segment it here. Make them nice and even segments. Okay, now Rich, he likes to take in on his, he likes to put a little bit of UV glue here. I don't feel the need for it, so I don't put it on here. Next thing I'm going to use is some minnow gills. I get this from my SLF Whitlock Dubbing II box, but you can just get the dubbing separately. I'm going to use some minnow gills and some dark stone. Okay, so for the back, for the first part, I'm going to use minnow gills dubbing, and I'm going to use very, very little. It's almost so little that when you think you have enough, like that, take some off, and then you have enough. Because you do not want much here. It does not take much, especially on such a small fly. Well, all you're going to do is make a collar there. So just wrap this on. And if it goes up towards the head, that's fine. The next thing we're going to do is put some dark stone on. We're going to use very little of it too, because we already used some of that red and that took up some body. So now we're just going to cover up that red with our dark stone, and then we're going to whip finish it off. And there's my whip finish. Okay, so we're just going to come in with our whip finisher. I like to make 2 small whip finishes, like 3 wraps, just so I have just a visible collar and not really anything more. Okay, you can see how you can just barely see the collar there. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to use is my dubbing brush, and I'm just going to take and brush this up, tease it a little bit, make it buggy looking. And that's all that's to that. The open wound, it's a great looking fly. Give it a try, you're going to catch fish on it. Okay, I hope you like that pattern. Like I said, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was a fishy fly, and I had to fill my box up with it. So I've been taking care of that. Been filling a little box up with little 18s here, and been tying it mostly in 16s and 18s, like I said in the video. But tied to one here in the video today on a 14, just for a little bit better video quality, but you get the idea. So if you have any more questions about it, go back and check out our podcast on the Bugs and Beard podcast page with Rich Ferreira, and he gets into talking about, it's the National Fly Fishing League episode. You'll really enjoy it. There's a lot of talk about competition fishing, and Rich is a good guy, so we had fun sitting down talking to him. And I'm glad I got to share his pattern with y'all here today. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Like I always say, until next time, please take the time to tune in to our podcast if you like listening to podcasts. And go over to our website, because all the material you need to find to tie these flies, you can find on our website at holsingersflyshop.com. So, if you have any requests for me, you can email them to holsingersflyshop@gmail.com. And until next time, we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm Sean Holsinger.